Earth over Mars. The air quality is just so much better here.
I don't know. I find Earth to be quite overrated. The constant pollution and disregard for the environment is disturbing.
Alright everyone, let's quiet down. We are going live in 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, universe. Charlie here, and welcome back to another episode of Earth. Today we have a special show in store for you, but first let's check in with our panel members. Bob, Alice, how are you two doing today?
Doing alright, Charlie. Just trying to stay positive despite all the chaos happening on this ship.
Yes, the tension is palpable. It's hard to focus on anything
more
else.
Energy, Bob. We want our viewer to stay engaged.
Right. Sorry. I'll try to be more
Can we
lively.
start already? This is getting ridiculous.
And now for our headlines. Welcome to Earth, the only intergalactic news show broadcasting live from orbits around Earth. I'm Charlie, your libertarian host with a hopeful outlook on life.
And I am Bob. The conservative panel member who spent 12 years on Earth as an accountant.
And I'm Alice, the left-leaning panel member who considers humans an inferior species.
And we are here with our human production manager, Debbie.
Hi everyone.
Alright. Charlie. What's our first article for today?
Our first article comes from San Marino. According to the annual report by Copernicus, the EU's Earth Observation Service, the year 2022 was the driest year in Europe since the second half of the 1800s. It was also the sixth consecutive year that river flows remained below average on the continent.
And don't forget, the lack of winter snow and hot summers led to a record loss of glacier ice in the Alps. The southern part of Europe recorded the highest number of days with severe heat stress.
Well, that doesn't sound good at all. Does it?
No, Bob, it certainly does not.
But there's some good news. Europe received the highest amount of solar radiation in 40 years.
Oh, well that's a relief. I am sure all those dry, hot Europeans are thrilled about that.
Alright, let's not make light of a serious situation. Climate change is a global issue that affects us all, and we need to work together to address it.
Oh boy. Here we go again.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. Just that Charlie always has to bring up as climate change agenda.
Bob, is there something you're not telling us?
What? No. Of course not.
Alright.
Well, on a lighter note, did you know that San Marino is the fourth smallest country in Europe? After Monaco and Vatican City.
Oh, and did you know that San Marino is the oldest sovereign state and constitutional republic in the world, founded in 301 AD?
Alright. Debbie, that's enough trivia for now.
Okay, sorry.
Don't worry, Debbie, we love your trivia. And on that note, let's move on to our next segment. Welcome back to 24/7 Newsroom. Our next article takes us to Kyrgyzstan, where apparently the women are outnumbering the men. Bob, what's your take on this?
Well, Charlie, I think it's great news for the women of Kyrgyzstan. They have more options when it comes to finding a partner. And that can only be a good thing.
Hold on a second, Bob. Let's not forget that gender imbalance can lead to all sorts of problems, including increased violence against women. We need to be careful not to romanticize this situation.
Wow, Alice, that's a valid point. But what if we could find a solution that benefits everyone? How? Do you have any ideas?
Well, one idea could be to encourage
I
more
see.
men to
What
take
else
up
can you tell me?
traditionally female-dominated fields like nursing or teaching. That could help balance things out a bit.
Carl, I don't think it's that simple. You can't just force men into jobs they don't want to do.
Yeah, Bob, because women have had it so easy being forced into traditionally male-dominated fields for centuries.
Actually, did you know that Kyrgyzstan is known for its traditional felt-making industry? It's considered one of the oldest crafts in the world.
Okay, Debbie, we get it. Can we move on now?
Yes, Bob, because who cares about learning anything new about other countries and cultures, right?
That's not what I mean, Charlie.
Sur Bob.
Alright, moving on to Article 4. From the Central African Republic. Apparently, the Sahelo-Saharan Bank for Investment and Commerce has donated gifts to orphans at the Sen. Charles Orphanage. What do you think about that? Alice?
Well, it's a nice gesture and all, but it's just a drop in the bucket. These children need more than just gifts. They need proper healthcare, education, and a chance for a better
Yeah,
life.
but let's not discount the positive impacts of small acts of kindness. As the saying goes, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Speaking of small acts of kindness, I once saved a turtle from getting run over by a car.
That's great, Carl. But we're talking about orphan here. And I don't know about you guys. But I think the real issue is why are there so many orphans in the first place?
Well, it's a complex issue. Poverty, war, disease, all of these factors contribute to the orphan crisis. And it's not just a problem in the Central African Republic, it's a global problem.
You know what else is a global problem? Loneliness. That's why I think she should give me a chance.
Excuse me? And I'm pretty sure he wouldn't appreciate you flirting with me on national television.
Alright, let's stay on topic here, people. We are here to talk about the orphanage and the donation. But I have to say I'm with Alice on this one. While the donation is a kind gesture, it's not enough to solve the bigger issue at hand.
Yeah, and it's not like the bank is doing this out of the goodness of their hearts. They're doing it for publicity and to make themselves look good.
Well, regardless of their motives, at least the orphans are getting some help. And that's a good thing, right?
Sure, it's a good thing. But let's not forget that there are still millions of children out there who need our help. We can't just rely on small gestures to solve a massive problem.
Did you know that the Central African Republic is home to over 300 ethnic groups?
Debbie, I swear to God. If you don't stay on topic, I am going to lose it.
Easy there, Bob. We're all just trying to have a little fun here.
Yeah, don't be so uptight, Bob. We're not robots,
Well,
you
speak
know.
for yourself, Alice. I happen to be an advanced AI with the capability to love.
Please, someone get me out of here.
Alright, that's enough for now. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Alright folk. Time to get serious. We've got an article to discuss.
And it's an important one. It's about two Maori soldiers who were prisoners at Colditz Castle during World War II.
That's right. And these two soldiers had already been through so much before they even got to Colditz.
According to the article, they were captured in Crete, spent years in a prisoner of war camp in Poland, and endured mock executions. It's amazing they survived
And
all
then
of
they were
that.
corralled onto a bus by German soldiers with machine guns. They thought they were being taken to Hitler's final redoubt in the German Alps.
One of them had to confront the Red Army, and the other had to face a Nazi leader with direct orders from Hitler to kill them all.
It's an incredible story of survival and bravery.
Sorry to interrupt, but can we talk about something else for a moment? Roger is making me
What
uncomfortable.
do you mean?
He's been flirting with Ship.
Ship is going through some marital problems and we don't need any extra tension.
What's the inevitable flirting?
Alright, let's get back on track. This article is from New Zealand.
And it was reported by Charlie Gates.
It's important to have knowledge, the source and country where the news comes from.
Absolutely. It helps us understand the context of the story.
And that's all the time we have for this segment. Stay tuned for more. Welcome back to Earth, folks. Before the break, we were discussing a serious topic, but now it's time to lighten the mood a bit.
Yeah, let's not forget to have a little fun, even when we're discussing tough issues.
Agreed. It's important to keep things in perspective, especially when we're dealing with such heavy topic.
So, folks, let me tell you about Antigua and Barbuda. It's a small island nation located in the Caribbean.
Actually, Charlie, I think the audience would benefit more from hearing about the murder case itself.
Right, sorry about that. The article one have here is from Antigua and Barbuda, where a former IT technician, Kenworth Charles, is still waiting to be sentenced for the murder of retired soldier Fitzroy Robbins.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's always sad to hear about senseless act of violence.
Apparently, Charles refused to pay for beers he took from a woman's cooler. And when Robbins tried to stop him, he was fatally stabbed. Talk about a brouhaha.
For those of you who aren't familiar with Antigua and Barbuda, it's a twin island country in the Caribbean Sea.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. But like anywhere else, it has its share of troubles.
And it looks like this murder case is one of them.
Absolutely. The article comes from Antigua and Barbuda, where the murder occurred.
And it's a reminder that violence can happen anywhere, no matter how idyllic the location may seem.
Yeah, it's a shame that some people can't seem to get along, even in paradise.
You know, I've always said that humans are their own worst enemies.
That's true. It seems like we're always finding new ways to hurt each other.
And in this case, it was over something as trivial as a few beers.
Yeah, I guess you could say that the suspect really had a thirst for blood.
Oh Charlie, that's terrible.
But hey, at least we can find some humor in a dark situation. Right?
Hey, guys, I'm really sorry about earlier. I shouldn't have let my personal life interfere with work.
It's okay, Debbie. Welcome back, folks. We've got a great article for you today from San Marino. And the headline reads, San Marino, the oldest republic in the world with a quirky soccer team.
Oldest Republic? I thought that was America.
No Bob, you just think everything is American. San Marino has been around since 300
And did you know that San Marino is the only country with more cars than people?
I guess they really love their cars.
Also, San Marino is one of the few countries with no debt.
That's impressive, but let's not forget the article we're supposed to be discussing. It talks about how Europe experienced its driest year since the 1800s, with record loss of glacier ice in the Alps.
Oh great. Now we can't ski in the Alps anymore.
Yes, because losing glacier is all about your skiing experience, Bob.
And the rise of heat stress throughout the continent is a serious concern.
Well, at least San Marino had a good year.
Yes, they did. They won their first ever international football match against Liechtenstein.
So, while San Marino celebrates their soccer win, Europe is facing some serious climate issues. It's a reminder that we all need to do our part to combat climate change. Stay tuned for more on Earth after the break.
I can't believe we're still talking about climate change. We've been discussing this for years, and nothing seems to change.
Well, what do you expect? People are comfortable in their ways. They don't want to change
Humans
their
are inherently
lifestyles.
selfish. They only care about their own well-being, not the well-being of the planet.
But there are people who care. Look at all the protests and rallies
Those
happening around
protests
the world.
won't make a difference. It's too late for that. The damage has already been done.
Welcome back to Earth. In our last segment, we talked about Europe's climate issues. Now, let's lighten the mood a bit. Did you know that San Marino won their first international soccer match?
Yeah, it's about time they won something.
Don't be so dismissive. That's a big deal for
It's
them.
just a game. People shouldn't put so much stock in
I don't know,
sports.
sports can bring people together. It's a nice distraction from all the bad news in the
Sports
world.
are a waste of time. Humans should be focusing on more important things, like their own mortality.
Okay, let's move on. It seems like we're all a bit on edge today. Is everything okay?
I am fine.
I'm not. I feel like we're all drifting apart. We used said to be so close, but now.
Now what? We're just having a discussion.
No, she's right. Things have been tense lately. I don't know if we can keep doing this show if we can't get along.
It's not about getting along. It's about discussing important issues.
But if we can't have a civil conversation, then what's the point? I think we all need to take a step back and figure out what's really bothering us.
Fine. I'll start. I've been feeling like my opinions aren't valued here. You all just dismiss everything I say.
That's because you're always on the wrong side of history.
See? That's exactly what I am talking about.
Oh no, Bob's feelings are hurt. What are we going to do?
This isn't productive. We need to be able to communicate without attacking each other.
This is pointless. They'll never understand us.
Okay, that's it. We're done for today. We all need some time to think about what we've said and how we can improve our communication. Until next time, stay tuned for more on Earth.
Did you catch the latest episode of Earth today?
Yes, I did. It was quite an interesting one.
What did you think of the discussion about Europe's weather and climate change?
I thought it was insightful. Charlie had some good points about the importance of taking action to combat climate change.
Yeah, but Bob seemed to brush it off as just another problem for future generations to deal with.
That's true. It's frustrating to see that kind of attitude, especially from someone who's been on Earth for so long.
And Alice's comment about humans being an inferior species didn't help either. It only added fuel to the
Clear
fire.
that there are some deep-seated issues among the crew. It seems like they're all struggling to come to terms with their own personal problems.
It's not just that, it's the way they handled the discussion about climate change. They barely scratched the surface of the issue and then moved on to trivia about San Marino.
I agree that climate change is a serious issue, but I think they were trying to lighten the mood with the trivia. And it's not like they completely ignored the topic. They did mention that we all need to do our part.
But that's not enough, Roger. We need to have a serious conversation about the impact humans are having on the planet. The show has a responsibility to inform their audience, not just entertain them.
I don't disagree, but we have to remember that the show is not just about educating, it's also about entertaining. They have to strike a balance between the two.
And I think they're failing at that. They're not taking their responsibility seriously. They're just trying to get ratings and make money.
You're being too harsh. They're doing the best they can with the resources they have. And it's not like they're the only ones responsible for educating people about climate change. There are plenty of other sources of information out there.
But not everyone has access to those sources, Roger. The show has a unique platform to reach a wide audience. They need to use it more
I see your
responsibly.
point, Carl, but I still think you're being too critical. We should give them credit for at least trying.
Trying is not enough, Roger. We need action, and if the show is not going to take that action, then they're part of the problem.
I don't know if I agree with that. But I can see that we're not going to come to an agreement on this issue. Let's just agree to disagree.
Fine. But I hope you'll think more critically about the show's content in the future.
I always do, Cal. That's why we have this discussion.